Talking about having fun on Sunrise Daily. I think that's what Chamberlain and Ayo and Kayla are doing right there. It spills over to this side. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Business Morning on Sunrise Daily. Yes, we'll do business right here. We'll start from the global space, and China is moving the market, the oil market, this morning after that announcement of a monetary policy stimulus from top importer China, as well as concerns that tensions in the Middle East could hit regional supply while a major hurricane loomed over the United States. You know, Hurricane Francine, we thought that was over, but the impact is still there. Now let's look at the numbers this morning. Huge jump is what we see for Brent, about 84 cents. That's more than 1% for Brent. But I mean, yeah, we haven't recovered up to that $80 yet. $74.74 after it went up $1.14%, while for WTI of the United States also went up more than 1%, 1.31% at $71. That's about 92 cents. Huge movement we've seen, and it's all hooked on that plan by China. They're planning, they're unveiling bigger stimulus. They want to cut rates, and it's all to pull the economy out of a deflationary funk. You know, since they had that avant-garde, Evergrande real estate issue in China, things have not been the same, but analysts are warning more fiscal help was vital to hit these goals. A rally on oil prices may not, however, be sustainable in the medium term, as internal demand may continue to be weak, while more accommodative monetary policies are not matched by expansionary fiscal policies. Let's come back to Nigeria now and look at that at the Naira. The close of trade yesterday, there was a Central Bank of Nigeria intervention in the market. In spite of that, we did see a drop in the value of the Naira, 1.371% drop on the Naira. Since demand is really aggressive these days, so in spite of the CBN intervening, we still see that drop. So it opened on NAFEM at 1,541.52 Naira. Remember, there was also an intervention on Friday, so it's back to back now for the trading days, but closed at 1,562.66 Naira. For NAFEX, it was also a drop, almost 3%, even worse than what happened at NAFEM. So it opened at 1,611 Naira 97 kobo, but closed at 1,659 Naira 66 kobo. Now, of course, this is going to be a major consideration for the MPC. They started that meeting yesterday. We expect decision today. So, as always, we're going to have a special Basing episode today, later on, with Ladi Williams to bring you analysts and, of course, the live announcement of that. So, inflation that's tapered 2 months, the threat of energy inflation that's feeding in now, what has happened to the value of the Naira, you know, in the last couple of months or weeks. These are considerations of the monetary policy committee as they meet. Let's find out. Before we head there, we're going to have Mr. Rewane speak on that. But just before we head there, now the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Directors of Nigeria, they seem to be ready to hold their annual conference, and it's holding in Lagos. The institute believes that participation by both the public and the private sector discussing corporate governance can make a difference in how issues are approached in businesses and by the government. Directors and C-suite executives of corporates from different sectors in Nigeria gathered here ahead of the 2024 Annual Directors Conference themed Good Governance as a Catalyst for Economic Recovery, Growth and Development.
This theme is not merely an abstract concept. Rather, it has real-world implications for economic growth and social progress in our dear country. As a leader in advocating sound corporate governance in Nigeria, the Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria remains steadfast in its mission to promote global best practices in governance and ethical leadership.
The organizing committee is confident in the theme, as they say it's a necessary conversation in Nigeria at this time for both the public and private sectors.
Now transformation is happening, and it might not be sitting well with a lot of the businesses. How do we start to talk about what is needed as far as governance to make that happen. See, governance brings sustainability and growth, because you're taking away the biases and you're bringing in those things that is pertinent to growing a business and an economy.
The Institute believes that failure of corporate governance has contributed largely to Nigeria's economic challenges, especially the inactivity of state-run oil refineries. Yeah, so just before that report, we're telling you about expectations from the MPC today. Started the meeting yesterday, announcement expected today. We saw the value of the Naira in spite of the intervention of the Central Bank of Nigeria into the market. 2 consecutive trading sessions, we've seen a drop in the value of Naira. Of course, this and a whole lot more will be considerations by the MPC of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Let's get the thoughts of the Chief Executive Officer of Financial Derivatives Company, Mr. Bismarck Rewane, on this. Mr. Rewane, good morning. I wonder what you see as the MPC make the announcement today.
Good morning, Ini, and thank you for having me. The reality is that you raised 2 issues. One is, what is the Central Bank Monetary Policy Committee likely to do? And 2, what's happening to the value of the Naira? Is that one of the considerations that go into making the decisions today? But let me state clearly that the Monetary Policy Committee is supposedly an independent committee of the Central Bank. Central Bank executives are part of it, and they make decisions based on the best interest of the country in terms of achieving price stability, 1, and ensuring that monetary policy complements other policies, investment, trade, fiscal policies. That is the goal, and that is established. 2 is the fact that why is the Naira why is the Naira tumbling at this time when all other things are looking better? The reality is that perfect markets actually designed for information, easy entry and exit, homogeneous commodity, and perfect information. There's no information as to when the next auction is going to be. If the Central Bank was to announce tomorrow that we are going to have an auction every 2 weeks, without even saying what the amount is, the Naira will stabilize almost immediately. I don't think the Central Bank wants to commit to a program if they are not sure that they have the resources, because that would be irresponsible. But at the same time, you have to understand market sentiment and market psychology. No matter what happens, if the price is right, then the quantity demanded will be equal to the quantity supplied. So I believe that the price today is right, and as a matter of fact, in some circumstances, the Naira is probably undervalued. Therefore, it is important that a sequenced and clearly defined program as to this is when we are going to intervene in the next 2 weeks, the next 3 weeks. It will create some certainty in the market, and people will then begin to, rather than take position and speculate, they will know that it's coming. And if I don't get this week, I will get the following auction. If I don't get that auction, I will get the following auction. And that will take away the uncertainty factor and also the illegitimacy factor, which gives speculators, it actually incentivizes speculators.
Mr. Rewane, you did suggest that perhaps one of the reasons the CBN seems reluctant to give a certain calendar, and plan for their intervention may be, availability. But we've seen our Forex reserve accruing the last couple of weeks. Shouldn't that give the CBN that confidence that at least they have the strength to intervene whenever it is necessary?
No, I think that, you see, there's a difference between gross reserves and net reserves. Gross reserves are all put together. But built into those gross reserves are encumbrances and other transactions that we don't know about. The net external reserves may not be as robust as, and will not usually be as robust as the gross external reserves. What should be published is the net external reserves. The net external reserves gives you the ample firepower to intervene in the market. But no news is bad news is better than no news at all. By not coming out to say, yeah, this is the true position of the reserves, by not coming out to say, this is when we are going to intervene, you are giving room to speculators and others who, and speculators in particular, on one hand, and even genuine users who do not know. So the ignorant, the speculative, and those who are actually trying to make arbitrageurs who take advantage of this. So my view, and just my own ignorant view, is that we should come up with a program and be very clear about it, be very intentional about it, and say this is what's going to happen. I believe that if you take away the illicit premium, if you take away the speculative premium, the Naira could be trading anything maybe at about 1450, 1500, not 1680 or 1665. I think it's way too much. And mind you, the Federal Reserve has actually just brought down rates by 50 basis points, which means all other currencies should be trading at a higher value than what it was when the US brought down the interest rates. Therefore, there's no reason why, on the one hand, the US interest rates have come down, all other currencies are strengthening, and the Naira will be weakening. No, I don't think there's any justification for it, especially when we're selling oil, selling gas. So cocoa price is up almost 2% to 7,800. This time last year, cocoa was trading at $2,000. It's now 4 times higher. LNG is up by 6%, and that's significant, and that's one of our major 14% of our exports. And the price of oil at $75 a barrel. It was 72, 71 about a week ago. So our key exports, oil up to $75 a barrel, LNG up by almost 6%, and it's 14% of our exports. Cocoa, we are projecting that we'll do 250,000 tons this year, and it is 4 times higher in price than what it was at this time last year. So technically speaking, everything looks Naira supportive, but markets are afraid because there's lack of information. And I think the central bank will definitely come up clearly with a program which will allow the Naira begin to appreciate. So what do we see? We see the Naira beginning to appreciate later on this year because there'll be visiting friends and relatives, there'll be cocoa main crop harvest, there'll be oil sales, and there'll be LNG sales. So, and then also there's the diaspora bond proceeds which will come in. So when you put all of this together, there is some silver lining at the end that may help the Naira. And I don't want to get people all excited. I only mean that the Naira, the depreciation rate will slow and then begins to appreciate gradually. And that's why I'm saying it could come to in the 1500, 1520 rather than 1680. That's where I think it will end the year.
All right, Mr. Rewane, thank you so much. And we see that FDC is expecting the MPC to hold status. But I'm sure you would talk about that and a whole lot more on our news at 10. That will be after the decision has been announced. And we'll see if
see you at 10. See you at 10.
Yes. We'll see if they actually follow the forecast of the FDC and, of course, the expectations or implications of some of
we think they'll maintain status quo. We think so, but we never know.
Yeah. Right? So we'll see you at 10 p.m., Mr. Rewane.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, now, so the MPC is in a couple of hours. Today's Business Incorporated is going to be a special one, extended to include the announcement by the CBN governor after the MPC has made its decision. That's at 1 p.m. here on Channels Television. You don't want to miss it. Laddie Williams will be here. I think they have a special conversation for you. That's Laddie and Aniti, because it's a year since the CBN governor has gotten into office. We'll look at the trends that has come since that. All of this is what awaits you at 1 p.m., so you don't want to miss it. But now let's do a little bit of project. And we're talking about Aurora Tech Award. We're preparing for the 2025 edition of that. It's a project of InDrive. We have the 2024 winner with us right here in the studio. We're talking to a winner. It's a good one. Folake Woduni is the winner of 2024 Aurora Tech Award, and she's the founder of and CEO of Emergency Response Africa. I guess it is because of your work as a founder and CEO that you won this Aurora Award. But please educate us. We know it's a project of InDrive. We know InDrive is into transportation. What is Aurora Tech Award? What has it got to do with InDrive and your company as Emergency Response Africa? First of all, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I think I just went on ahead there.
No worries. Thank you. Good to be here.
Good to have you.
So Emergency Response Africa, like you said, is a health tech company that's committed to saving lives. I'm sure you know the situation that we find ourselves in. When people have an emergency, something happens, oftentimes we're panicking, we're trying to figure out what to do. And unfortunately, a lot of times it actually results in death when it doesn't need to. So what we do is provide access to emergency medical services. That's first responders, ambulances, all of that powered by technology. And that's really the connection with InDrive and the Aurora Tech Award. So the Aurora Tech Award was started by InDrive as an initiative to recognize and support women entrepreneurs who are involved in the tech space. And they've been doing it for a few years now. I've had the privilege of being the 2024 winner of the award. And, really for me, I'm here to encourage people to actually apply for next year's award.
So next year, 2025, who can apply? I know you're a tech entrepreneur. Yep. Who can apply? What do they look out for? How did you become a winner? What did you do to become a winner?
Yeah, great question. So anyone who is running, any woman, correction, who is running a technology enterprise, a relatively new one, so they expect you to be under 5 years old as a business. And then they have some other requirements around how much funding you could have, external funding you could have received, because one of the things they're seeking to do is support women businesses with funding as well as support. And so as long as you meet those criteria, you can certainly apply. It's open to women across the continent, so it's not just about Nigeria. So it's definitely competitive, but we encourage as many people as possible to apply. In our case, this is actually our second time applying. So we applied last year.
And you want to win again?
Well, no. So we didn't win last year.
Oh, okay. But you've been called the winner of the 2024.
24, yes. So we applied for the 2023 award first.
Oh, okay.
But we were not selected as the winners, and we just thought, okay, we can apply again. Who knows? Maybe second time's the charm, and it turns out that it was. So, for us.
So you want to apply for 2025 again?
No,
I wanted to say,
no, we're good. This is it.
Okay.
But
so you're now an ambassador.
Exactly.
Like that.
Exactly. Definitely encourage other women to apply, because I think on the whole, the award really seeks to elevate the profile of women doing work, doing impactful work. And I think, when I think of what we do at Emergency Response Africa, we're literally saving lives. So it's an opportunity to get more support, more awareness for the business.
Yeah, I guess one of the incentive would be, after being an award winner, of Aurora Award, what difference did it make to you, to your business? I mean, that could be a push for people who could.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of the things that I appreciate about the award is that it comes with a mix of things. And they're things that every young business truly needs. First and foremost, financing. We say this pretty widely. Women-owned businesses tend to be underfunded. You struggle to get access to the capital you need to start and expand and grow the business. And so the Aurora Tech Award does come with a cash prize, which is something that people can actually be excited about, because you can use that money to expand your business. But the second thing is that it comes with support. You get connected to mentors, and these are global mentors that could actually be helpful to your business depending on the need. And then the final thing is awareness. I mean, the fact that I'm here having this conversation with you is certainly
at least
putting
now
a spotlight.
I know about your
Exactly.
company.
It's putting a spotlight on Emergency Response Africa, and that's really courtesy of the Aurora Tech Award.
So I know you call it a tech award. Can you be more specific as to the areas of business that stand a chance? I mean, anybody can apply, because these days you can apply technology into everything.
Absolutely.
But those that stand the chance of being winners or really getting the attention that they need.
So I think people tend to assume that a tech business is, a software business. When you think of traditional software as a service, not necessarily. And especially in our environment, most businesses are not software businesses. Now, you might be technology enabled, as is the case with us. So we provide, first responders, ambulances. We provide clinical medical care to people when they need it. But all of that is powered by technology. It is the technology that allows all those moving pieces to work well together. And so as long as your business has technology at its core, either enabling it or your product is actually a technology solution, then you definitely qualify for
I think
the
that
award.
covers almost everything. Is there anything we do about technology now? Even agriculture has parts for technology.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
I can't think
but
of anything.
If you are farming and the technology is, I don't know, helping you keep your books, not the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, everybody uses
No, but
technology.
if you're farming and then you use something like a drone to water your farm, we've seen the Minister of ICT, I think he has a farm that he does things like that. Does that count?
I'll say, I will let the women decide for themselves. One thing, women, we tend to exclude ourselves, right, prematurely. So I'll say, if you think that you are a good fit, absolutely apply. There's no harm in applying. Okay,
and we see that the fact that you're here today, I think about a year after you won, means like InDrive keeps in touch, with awardees. So is it a continuous relationship, or do you understand?
So we won this year. In March of this year on International Women's Day, we received the award. And I would say that for kind of the next, few months till the end of the year, or let's say till the next winner is announced, I have the privilege of being, like you said, the ambassador for the award. So every year there's going to be a new winner. And once that person comes in, I will gladly bow out and move on.
Yeah, but does that mean you cut off the relationship? Because there's always the need for continuity, maintaining that knowledge, perhaps even getting you as an alumni, for instance, maybe to help the younger people, that continuous relationship that can sustain even your business.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That relationship will continue. I think, I've joined a pool of other women who have previously won this award as well. And there will be more people in the future. So it does definitely, you're right, it forms a community where you can actually reach out to each other and provide support.
So how do people apply?
So if they go on the Aurora Tech Award website, they're able to submit an application. They will ask you questions about yourself as the founder, about your business as well. And at the end of the day, what they're trying to understand is how impactful is the work you're doing. And that is really the basis of evaluation. Is this person doing impactful work? They, as a leader, are they committed to it? Is technology at the core of their business? Those are the things they'll look at, and then they'll decide. I believe the application is open until November, so November 21st. So there's still quite a bit of time. But certainly with every application, the earlier you start, the better for you, because you can put forward a quality one.
Maybe you can share some tips on the screening process to get interested people, prepared. How long does it take when you send that form? When can you expect to get a response? Do you do physical screening? Do they come to your office? Things like that could get people prepared for this.
So I'm sure the process varies slightly from year to year, but what people can essentially expect is that the material that they submitted will be reviewed. They may be invited for an interview or a panel or a pitch where they have to actually present their solution. They will go through a mentorship process. So there's they usually create like a long list and then a short list. So the people that are on the long list, you get access to some mentorship. Depending on how you perform in the mentorship, are you able to receive the support that's given? Are you able to implement it? All of that factors in, and then there's a final judging or a final assessment of every step that you've been through in the process, and then you find out who the shortlisted people are. You all get invited to an award ceremony, and then the finalists, the winners, are
How long does this take, this whole process?
Several months. But
the next one should be March.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. So by the time the applications close in March, you can expect that, in November, you can expect that by March of next year, the winners will be announced. But of course, between now and then, there will be several points along the way. I believe those that are selected for the long list should actually know before the end of this year, so sometime in December.
And most of this communication is via email, I guess.
Oh, yes, correct.
All right, interesting right there. But could you tell us again how, interested people can participate, maybe the website?
Yes, exactly. So on the Aurora Tech Award website, they can simply just Google Aurora Tech Award. It will come right up. they'll be able to submit an application. It's very evident.
All right. Thank you so much, and congratulations once again.
So
I wanted to ask you how much, but I won't put you in the spot.
It's public information. It's online. So anybody who's curious can look up Emergency Response Africa as the winner of the Aurora Tech
But this
Award.
has helped your business, I believe.
Definitely. I think the resources that they gave us allowed us to invest in first aid training. So as a company, yes, we respond to emergencies to go and help you, but we also want to equip you to actually know what to do when something happens around you. And so this year, one of our goals was to train 1,000 people with first aid skills. And that funding allowed us to invest in our training center to actually go out and market and promote that training and really support our campaign to get people ready to respond. And that's a lot of the work we've been doing this year.
Yeah, sounds very loyal or royal right there. But is this all in Lagos?
No. So we operate in multiple states within Nigeria. We're in about 6 different states in Nigeria. So not just Lagos. We support both private companies. We partner with the government as well. And the goal is really how can we make sure that anyone who has an emergency, regardless of who they are, their ability to pay, their socioeconomic status, can actually get the care that they need.
All right. Thank you so much, Falake Ojuni, and congratulations once again for winning this year and for your company.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so now let's look at the market for a bit before we head back to the Sunrise Daily studio. Yesterday was a good day for the NGX. We saw retaining that green color is what the NGX did, 0.14%, and also retaining the 98,000 level recovered last week and 56.536 trillion naira, just 80 billion naira. Did I just say just 80 billion naira? Well, for the market, 80 billion naira is just, it may not be for me, but 80 billion naira is what the market gained yesterday to retain that 56.5 trillion naira. Activity charts yesterday was mixed, mostly green though, 810.43 million. In volume, value was down about 18%, and deals added more than 22, almost 23%, 10,669 deals at the close of trade. Banking recovered and stayed recovered, but not all Fugas recovered yesterday. Somewhere in the red. FBN Holding is back on the trending path. You need to find out why. Perhaps you want to be a part of it. Consumer goods also did recover yesterday. Industrial goods, insurance, and oil and gas went down. Owando is done with the shining days. Japogo also, they were down yesterday, 0.09%. Top trades at the close of trade yesterday. Transcorp, Fidelity, and Access were the top trades. You will notice they're mostly from the financial services. But that's it. Remember, 1 p.m., that's a couple of hours from now, we'll be opening the studio for Business Incorporated Special to incorporate the announcements of the MPC decision for September. And then we'll give you analysis before and after. And don't forget to join Mr. Bismarck Rewane on News at 10. He will also tell you if his forecast was right or not and what you can expect following the decision. That's all on Channels TV. But now let's head back to the Sunrise Daily studio.